Hello my friends, welcome to day one of your 21-day yoga challenge. A challenge that I have designed for you to help you get stronger, to help you get more flexible, for you to improve your balance, and for you to become the best version of yourself. So today we're working on hip openers. We're gonna be stretching the hip flexors, as unfortunately our hips is one area where we hold a lot of tension. We hold a lot of stress and a lot of trauma. Tight hips and hamstrings can cause the pelvis not to be lined up with your spine and therefore cause a lot of lower back pain. So if you're ready, let's begin. So grab your mat, maybe grab, a blanket, a towel, and let's begin. Just get comfortable wherever you are. If you want to sit on your carpet, just go sit on your carpet. We're gonna start today with seated position, so we're not going anywhere. Yes, you need a little bit of room, but wherever you are, just get comfortable. That's all I need from you. And let's begin. So the first pose that we're gonna take today is one of my favorites, is butterfly. So butterfly is a great pose because it stretches not only your hips, but your inner thighs and your groins. So we're gonna bring the sole of the feet together and roll the shoulders back. We're gonna start lengthening the spine, and we're just gonna stay here for a couple of breaths and just make sure that your shoulders are stacked over the hips, your knees are facing out. So one thing that I want you to keep in mind is in yoga, we always inhale and exhale through the nose. So I don't wanna get too technical, but make sure that when you're breathing, you're taking deep inhales and long and steady exhales. So another way to look at it is, and once again, if this doesn't feel comfortable, then don't worry so much about it. Little by little, every day, I'm gonna explain it so you can start getting used to it. But the whole idea is for you, when you breathe, to start rising the belly. So you're gonna start rising that belly. Imagine like if you were blowing into a balloon. And then on your exhale, you're gonna deflate the belly. So we inhale deeply. And we exhale fully. Just make sure that you empty out the lungs. So now we're gonna find stillness in here. And we're gonna start walking the hands forward. Just make sure that you keep it straight back. Now you're gonna change this way so you can see me better. And I always like to emphasize the fact that you are better off by coming halfway down with the straight back than going all the way down with the round back. So avoid rounding the spine. So now start taking the arms towards the front of the mat. Keeping a straight back, lengthening, and just relax the upper body. So we're gonna stay here for 5, 4, and remember you have the option to go deeper on your exhales. So in yoga, we always bend either forward or backwards, and we always take the poses deeper on the exhales. It opens up the body. It helps you soften the body. And then slowly start walking the hands back, coming back to sit. So now we're gonna come into our second pose, cow face legs. So let me face you now. So for your cow face legs, that's a really intense hip opener. The whole idea for you is to really stack the knee over the knee. So we're gonna take, in this case, the right leg on top, left leg on the bottom, and make sure that you're not only sitting on one hip. For the most part, we have the tendency, in this case, since we're doing the right leg on top, to sit on top of the left hip. But just try to avoid down by slowly pressing the right hip down. Beautiful job. So you have the option, once again, to either keep your legs relaxed, or if you are like me, that you like to feel, the tension and the stretch in the whole body. Then you can flex your feet. That way you're gonna feel it a little bit more on your hips. So we're stacking the legs. So if this is uncomfortable, you can bring your legs or your feet a little closer to your glutes. So you have the option to either take your hands on top of your feet, or if you want to open the shoulders, you can take your right arm up. Make sure that your elbow and your shoulder are at the same level. And then we're gonna take the left arm on top. So you don't want the arms to be down. You want to lift up the arms. Hands are touching. And just be mindful of that breath. Remember, deep inhales through the nose. And long and steady exhales through the nose. So you can stay here if that feels good, or if you're looking for more, then slowly you can exhale by folding forward. And now come all the way up. Release the bind, shake the arms, shake them, shake them, shake them. And then we're gonna do the other side. So we're gonna take the right leg under, left leg goes on top. And once again, you have the option to either flex your feet so that way you feel it more on the hips. Make sure once again that we bring the left hip down. So press down on the left leg, on the left hip. So both hips are grounded on the mat. And now we're gonna take the opposite arm. So last time we had the right arm and then we had the left arm on top. So now we're gonna do the opposite. Make sure that your elbows are in one line with the shoulders. Hands are touching. Just acknowledge the sensations, the emotions in your body, especially on the hips. Maybe your hips are screaming by now. So you can stay here, or you can slowly start folding forward. And then slowly come all the way up. Release the arms and shake the arms. Shake them, shake them, shake them. So for our next pose, we're coming into half pigeon. So half pigeon is one of my favorite poses too. So we're gonna come to the front of the mat or carpet, wherever you are, and we're gonna bring the right leg forward. Bend the knee. So make sure that your hips are facing forward, your hips are square. Your right leg can come a little closer to your groins if your hips are really tight. If that's the case, you can always place a block under. So if you have a yoga block, feel free to place the yoga block under your hips and maybe walk the right leg forward. Make sure that your left leg is in one straight line from the hip to the toes. You can stay here. Maybe if you have a bolster like I do in this case, we can bring the bolster under the hips, or you can grab a pillow, a cushion, even a thick blanket. You can fold the blanket and place it under your hips so you can stay here. Or if you're looking for more, then you can take your sleeping pigeon by walking your hands forward, melting the chest towards the mat. So once again, make sure that both hips are pressing towards the mat. You want your hips completely flat on the mat if you can help it. Now, if your hips are more open, then feel free, like I did in here, to walk the right leg forward. Now your leg is parallel to the front of the mat. And then fall forward. And we just can stay here for 5 breaths. Just take a moment to relax, to let it go. And this is one of the poses where people often come to just take the time to go inwards, to find gratitude, practice gratitude. So we take our last breath in here, and then we come all the way up. So we're gonna do the other side. So we're gonna bring the left leg forward, right leg goes back. Remember to make sure that your right hip is in line with the right toes. Bring your left leg either closer to your groins. Maybe you sit on a block, maybe a towel, cushion, pillow, whatever feels good. We can stay here, pressing the mat away. So you're taking a micro back bend, but just make sure that you're not sinking down on your lower back. You always want to be lengthening the spine, or you can start walking the hands forward, taking the chest towards the mat, and just relaxing in here for 5 breaths. So feel free to bend the elbows, taking one hand on top of the other, and taking the chin on top of your hands, just relaxing. Understanding that yoga is not a destination, it's a journey. We're not in competition with anyone else. We're in a competition with ourselves, trying to become the best version of ourselves. And then slowly press yourself all the way up. So we're coming into our double pigeon. Double pigeon is a little bit more intense. So we're gonna start with the right leg. So take your left leg, bend the knee, flex your foot, and take your right leg on top. So we're trying to create a square shape by taking the right knee over the left foot and the right foot over the left knee. Make sure that both hips are flat on the mat. Lengthen the spine, take both hands on top of the right leg. If there is a gap between your knee and your foot, feel free to either grab a towel, fold it, and just place it in between, or you can always grab a block and then just place it in here. So whatever feels comfortable, or you have the option to start making that gap a little bit smaller by gently pressing down on the knee, and just go as low and as far as you can. Just make sure that it feels good. Remember, this is your first day, so there's no rush. There's no expectations, there's no judgment. Remember, yoga is it's not about the destination, it's a journey. So I want you to enjoy the journey. And I hope that I'm helping you enjoy this journey so we can just feel good and be happy. So let's begin. So we're gonna take our double pigeon. Once again, lengthen the spine, take your hands on top, or you can, if you want to open your shoulders too, you can take your right arm up, bend the elbow, left arm reaches back, interlace the hands, roll the shoulders back. So if your hands are closed, you can feel like your hands are closed, but they're not there yet. You can always grab a yogi strap. Maybe you grab a belt or a towel, a shirt, whatever you have handy. And then just hold it with the top hand. And then the left or the bottom hand, in this case the left, starts walking towards each other. So start walking both hands towards each other, and maybe you find the bind. And if that doesn't happen today, that's fine. There's no rush. So we stay here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breaths, or you can slowly start folding forward. You can reach the arms forward. You can walk the hands towards the right, so that way you're open the left side of the body. And you can walk the hands all the way towards the left, so that way you're opening the right side of the body. So just do whatever feels good for you in here. Just remember to stay connected to your breath, breathing in and out through the nose. So wherever you are, we're gonna come back to seated and we're gonna do the other side. So the right leg goes under, left leg goes on top. Remember, we have the left knee over the right foot, the left foot over the right knee. We flex the feet. That you're gonna feel it more on your hips. We create a square shape. We can stay here, taking the hands on top of the leg. We can reach the arms up. Just take any variation. I want you to be a free spirit. Do whatever feels good. Or you can take your left arm up, bend the elbow, right arm reaches back, interlace the hands, inhale, exhale, fold forward. You can stay here, taking the hands on top of the left leg. You can stretch towards one side, front, other side. Just do whatever feels good for you in here. So our next pose is happy baby. So lay flat on your back. Bring the knees to the chest. And now take your feet all the way up. Flex your feet, grab the outside of your feet. Make sure that your knees are facing out. And just relax the shoulders, the neck, the face. And if your hands can grab the outside of your feet, remember you always have the option to either grab belt, a towel, small towel, or maybe even a shirt, and just place it on top of your feet and then just grab them in here. You can make this pose as gentle or as intense as you want. So if you want to make it a little bit more intense, you can use the strength of the arms. See how my shoulders are relaxed on the mat. My shoulders are not all the way up here. You want to relax the shoulders. So make sure that the shoulders are pressed towards the mat. Maybe using the strength of the arms to bring the knees a little closer to the ground. Another option that you have in here is to bring the sole of the feet together and start taking your feet towards the ground, coming into Supta Pada Konasana, which is your reclined butterfly. And then you can gently press down on the knees so your knees are facing out. Hips are flat on the mat. Your lower back is resting on the mat. And you just relaxing in here for as many breaths as you want. And if you're ready for your next pose, we're coming into frog pose, which is a really intense hip opener. It's one of those poses that either you love or you hate. Every time I teach this pose, I always get mixed feelings. Some people hate it, some people love it. But it's definitely one of those poses that are going to help you for your middle splits if middle splits is one of your goals. So it can be really sensitive on your knees. So I suggest that you either fold your mat, or if you have towels, or maybe you can grab a blanket, a thick blanket, place it under your knees. We want to open the legs and try to stack the knee over the heel, toes facing out. So knee over heel, toes facing out. And now start bringing the hips as close as you can to the mat. So for some of you, you're going to be all the way up here, but see if you can come all the way down or as close to the mat as possible. You can stay high on your forearms, or maybe you just bend the elbows and place the arms, the hands on top of each other. Resting your chin, relaxing in here. Keep in mind that you want to have one straight line going from one knee over the hip to the other knee. So our next pose is figure 4. So you're flat on the mat. Now with the right leg, we bend the knee, we grab the foot and place it on top of the left knee. So make sure that your right knee is sticking out, flexing the foot. You can take the right hand under the right leg, taking the left hand to the left knee, interlacing both hands together. So you can stay here, relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the face. Make sure that the whole upper body remains flat on the mat. Breathing here with intention. And if you're looking for more, you can then slowly start pulling the left knee. So notice how when I bring the left knee closer to my chest, the right foot gets closer as well. That way I'm opening the right hip just a little bit more. And just breathe into your right hip. Remember, don't hold your breath. Unfortunately, most of the time when we are in a really uncomfortable position, whether it's on the mat or off the mat in our daily life, we hold our breath. And it should be the opposite. We want to make sure that we're breathing with intention, connecting with our breath, controlling the flow of the breath. So taking deep inhales and long and full exhales. And then slowly let go. And we're gonna do the other side. So we take the left foot, place it on top of the right knee. Left knee is facing out. You can even press the knee out if you want. And just stay here. Taking the left arm under the left leg. Right arm reaches to the outside of the right knee. Relaxing the whole upper body. We're connecting with our breath. And if we're looking for more, then we start pulling the right knee towards the chest, opening the left hip a little bit more, breathing into the left hip. And just being mindful of our breath. Beautiful job. And then slowly release. And we're moving. I really hope you enjoyed today's class. And let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you have any questions, any concerns. Remember, I'm here for you. Keep practicing. Remember, that's the key for everything. Practice, practice, practice. Trust me when I tell you, I started yoga at 41, I'm 50, and I feel better than ever. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. And I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Namaste, my friends. Thank you.